It's like, not in a mean way, because again, Warhammer and I are good friends, but I'm not going to put it on the screen. But again, literally, I had no experience with this guy, and basically, this is like one of the first communications with him. You are planning on a Bloodsport's Marty v. Zyrax type of one-sided argument. I could see you weren't about to give valid criticisms, but instead push some kind of gaslighting PR campaign. Are you a closet homo? I've always personally found it hilarious how libertarians talk about their precious bullshit free speech and then also try to use unfounded little factoids. You don't have a fucking clue what you're talking about with anything. For 200 years, all of these Enlightenment ideas have one after the other failed. If everyone is equal, then why is there far more class divisions and income loopholes than in the Middle Ages? There were no race... Wait... he's just, I love him so much. Can't wait for us to play some Minecraft finally together. So where were we? For 200 years, all these Enlightenment ideas have one after the other failed. If everyone is equal, then why is there far more class divisions and income loopholes than in the Middle Ages? There were no race riots, mob attacks, or anything remotely of the sort before the Industrial Revolution. I'm sure you're a capitalist who believes in the free market. Well, all that wealth speculation that was funneled in a small number of bankers and virtually all the industrial speculation was wiped away overnight by the stock market crash in 1929. Another example of this failed modern way of life. Every Neoplatonic value which you hold is utterly meaningless to God. Romans 13. Let every person be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and those that exist have been instituted by God. Therefore, whoever resists the authorities resists what God has appointed, and those who resist will incur judgment. For rulers are not a terror to a good conduct, but to bad. Would you have no fear of the one that is in authority? Then do what is good, and you will receive his approval, for he is God's servant for your good. But if you do wrong, be afraid, for he does not bear the sword in vain, for he is a servant of God, and an avenger who carries out God's wrath of the wrongdoer. 1 Peter 2:17. Honor everyone, love the brotherhood, fear God, honor the emperor. Not only is a free government immoral, it is a rebellion against the will of God's authority. Man is fallen in sin and shouldn't be allowed to have cognizant determinism. Monarchy is a legitimate authority and not most deserving of political protected freedom. George Fitzhugh and Robert L. Dabney were right, and not every man is born into freedom, nor should he be. The only thing that your egalitarian, libertarian, and otherwise enlightenment republics have ever given Western civilization is a generation of young men with high suicide rates and drug dependency. If you have someone in your life who's ruined by drugs, and they deserve it, for it's God's divine judgment that the lives of your family and friends and those around you be destroyed, and this, in fact, is good. What a king. What a fucking king. I love that man so much. What an absolute king. And here is me, as a faggot who drives trucks and create a massive pile. I'm sorry, bro. I was just chatting with my good friend Warhammer. Fuck off, vegan land. Yeah, nobody cares.